the people that I valued so dearly in my life. Ask yourself that question, and you look around and prioritize them and place them in your heart. Because when that happens, you will never do anything to make them sad. You will never do anything, to upset the relationship that you have with them, because you love them. If you love somebody, or if you love people around you, you will never do anything that will hurt them. I love my husband. Like what I said, we've been married for 38 years. I love my husband. And even though he was doing what he was doing, but I love him. And I never gave up on him. 7 years, I prayed, continued to pray, and then the change just happened. There was never a moment for those 7 years trial of our marriage for me to be yelling out at him or telling him off, or bringing his friends home, having their grog party, having their beer party, and all those things. There was never a moment for us to argue or for me to say, because I don't drink, I don't smoke, and then yet my whole home is, smoked with tobacco, and beer bottles everywhere, spillage, and the smell, the smell. And imagine, I never grew up in that kind of a situation, but to be faced with my marriage for the first 7 years, I never even see it as a challenge. It was like, okay, I just wake up every morning, pick up the bottles, mop the house, stand at the roadside, toot, do you hear the Botali truck? Sell the bottles, wash the grog cloth, hang it up, wipe the tanoa. Or even sometimes I will come, even though I don't like what was happening, I will never tell him, and then I will tell him, okay, the kosa, you want to be thrown away, or you want it kept to be singani and reused again in the night? So those kind of things, like, even though I never liked what was happening, and I knew, it was abnormal for me, because I never see that growing up, but I played along with it, and in the process, I've never stopped praying. When he's down and out, grogged up, swiped, crashed, I will come lay hands, on his forehead and say, Lord, you know me. I grew up in a Christian home, and this is not the deal that I've wanted. I need you to change my husband. And that's the only thing I'm always asking him. Just change him to know you. Change him to love you the way that I do. And 7 years later, he changed. All I wanted is for him to change. But now he's a pastor, he's preaching. And sometimes he's preaching to me, and I said, remember your humble beginning. So making a marriage work is entirely up to you. Please, count the years of your marriage, and also anticipate the years of your going. Like for us, I was telling him, okay, we never, talk about these things, but we need to. For me, I'm targeting maybe another 20, 30 years. For him, he said, no, I just want 15 to 20 years, because he doesn't want to be seen looking old. And then I said, okay, this is the time for us to enjoy every moment, every year, because every moment now becomes so dear, and every year becomes a milestone for us, because anything can happen. So as you grow older into your marriage, then you begin to really value what marriage life brings to you and your family. But when you are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, well, you're out there in the wild, wild land. It's like, okay, I've got my family fine. You still have your good whatever that you're doing on the side. But when you reach this age, I believe, maybe some, even reaching this age, they're still doing what they're doing. But you must be, I don't know what's wrong if you continue to do that. But this is the time to stand still and say to yourself, if you're in your 50s like us, I'm 56 and he turned 60 last Saturday. If you are in the 50s club, please stand still. Hanging out. Tell yourself, I better stop. I better embrace my life and embrace my marriage and enjoy this time, because I don't know what the years will bring. I never know what will happen in years to come. So this is a moment for you to realize that. And also for you children, when you look at your parents, you know that they are sitting in that age. Value your parents. Yes, I was sharing with Maggie last night, because we were out for dinner, and I was telling her, because I was looking at the photos of her bringing in her mother-in-law to the hotel to check in with them. And she's blessed, she still have her grandmother. And her grandmother is 92. Yeah, and her namesake as well. Yes, not wearing glasses, still good as ever. Yeah, and that's what she was sharing with us. She said, this grandmother of hers, her namesake, Magdalene, she's always telling her children, when you reach this age and you enjoy life, it depends on what you put in your mouth. And it's always her advice. Well, she's 90 plus and still, normal. And I was telling her, when you do that and you value them, if something happened, or when something happened, you can come and pay for the